Good morning, Brenda. Skyfly, good morning, good morning. Skyfly, Joel, everybody's here, huh? Oh, there he is.
Good morning, Paul.
There's Mr. Ed.
Good morning,
How are you doing,
Sunstar.
Ed?
Good morning, Skyfly. Doing very good, thanks. And you?
Yeah, it was kind of a long night because I took my clean out pills yesterday. So I
Uh-oh.
spent about 3 hours on the toilet.
Uh-oh.
But if I don't do that, I get bound up really bad.
Well, have fun, Skyfly.
2 days from now, he's going to be in the air. Oh, he's going to meetups.
Yeah, so today's Tuesday. By Thursday, he's going to be there.
So he's gonna be going up a day early, I guess, huh?
Nice. How's the weather there today? Well,
It's 29 degrees, cloudy. Boone, what do you want? I think he wants to go out. I'll be right back.
okay. Yeah, Skyfly. Yeah, lots of fun.
What's up, Ed?
Well, good morning, Dustin.
What's up, Joel, Brenda?
Paul just went to put this puppy outside.
Yeah, I heard him right before I came on.
He had to go wee-wee. So how's the weather out there? Nice?
It is, let me see. 71 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm trying to think here. Around 21, 22 Celsius, something like that.
Nice. Here is -4, feels like -11.
And it's 93% humidity with a high of 89 today. Yeah, we're starting to get into the 90s on Sunday, so
Hey, there he is,
And they're calling
summertime is
for
rolling around.
Mr. Justin.
and they're calling for more snow tonight, so hopefully we don't get it. Because I'm over that white stuff already.
We've gotten a couple of nasty thunderstorms over the last week because of the heat, the atmosphere here, and causing thunderstorms.
Boone's got me running back and forth to the back door, so.
You went to go wee wee?
No, he wants to check out the birds and the squirrels. That's what he wants.
Oh,
Like Joel's getting on a plane in 2 days. Yeah.
up,
Down-
Justin, up. How far are
Well-
you from the meetup? Like, are you like an hour, two?
About 2 hours or so.
Oh, that's not bad.
Put
Are
on
you
traffic.
going over there?
No. I ain't got no reason to go there.
Justin says, been there, done that.
Half the
You
people
done
there
that
don't-
before, Justin? If you
half
don't
the
mind me
people
asking.
there don't. Yeah, I've been to the first two, but half the people there don't like me anyway, so I don't care.
Oh.
Well, that's
Uh,
okay. You don't have to like them either, but you know.
uh,
I wear a shirt. If you don't like me, half off.
Or the feeling's mutual. If you don't like me, the feeling is mutual.
Yeah, that's it.
Joel, definitely dress for summertime if you're coming down here, because it's gonna be
It's warm down there, right, Justin?
Yeah, it'll be in the 80s and 90s and the highs, and like high 60s is the lows for the next week.
Yeah.
So I
Joel,
wouldn't
don't-
be dressing for
don't-
winter at all.
Joel, don't forget to pack your Speedos too. It's gonna be so hot.
Yes, during the weekend it's going to be in it's supposed to have like the high 90s, like low 90s.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So I would definitely be packing with shorts and t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, we're pushing 28 degrees here. How are you doing there, Ed?
-4. Wind chill, -11.
Hey, Joe, how's it go?
Well, you got to remember, Florida's the only other. We're the only technically tropical climate in the lower 48. And then Alaska's the only other, or not Alaska, Hawaii's the only other one.
Especially southern Florida, right?
Well, I would say from most of Florida, from the top down.
The panhandle gets warm, but it doesn't get as hot as it does down in the.
No, I would say more central to lower Florida definitely is
Yeah.
tropical climate.
We
How
got
you
4
doing,
blocks
Joe?
already this morning.
What's that?
We got 4 blocks on the bingo card already. Yeah, if I'd had Duca lights on, we'd had 5.
Yeah, Joel, I would definitely. It's going to be humid and a little bit warm, so definitely shorts and t-shirts and a hat for the sun, and bring a good pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, Justin doesn't go anymore because he's too good for it. He's a
One,
gaming channel.
I don't fly drones anymore, and two, like I said, half the people there don't like me anyway, so because I got too mouthy with half of them. They don't like it.
Uh-oh.
I couldn't go this year. If I would have gone this year, I probably would have knocked somebody out, so I didn't go.
Uh-oh.
You know what I'm talking about, Justin.
Yeah.
It'd only take one statement to make me knock him out. Then I'd have to see what the jail's like down there, and I don't like that idea.
Yeah, it's Florida. I wouldn't recommend that.
That's what I said. I don't like that idea.
Well, it's
Guy
free,
Fly
right?
says he
Three
doesn't
meals.
even own a pair of shorts.
You better get some.
You better have some shorts down there. Supposed to be in the 80s.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
High
high 80s, low 90s. There's a couple
Yeah.
days where it's in the low 90s.
Well, the good news is that you still might have wind, so that might be a factor.
Forget about the shorts. Get some Speedos.
I mean, he'll be closer to, yeah, he'll be right on the coast, but still, it's going to be warm. I wouldn't be out
That's
there.
Mark Fisher with the Speedos.
I mean, you'd be fine if you were in a pair of like light khakis. I definitely wouldn't want to be out there in a heavy pair of jeans or nothing.
Yep.
Or a long sleeve shirt, you know.
You wouldn't see me going to Florida with a long sleeve shirt. I'm a little smarter than that.
Did Johnny
where-
make it? Did Johnny make it down there?
He's probably almost there now. They probably left about 5 this morning, so he's probably pretty close.
Wow.
I don't have a tracking device on his car yet. I'm trying. I keep forgetting to put it there. The reason I do that is because every time I've got my stuff out there, he's digging in my back looking. So I got to make sure I got everything so I can track him. Yeah, I sent a box down there with all the stuff I don't use. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff that I bought over time, prop guards and stuff like this, like Air 2S prop guards for Mini 3 Pro. I don't use them. I thought I needed them. I don't need them for what I do.
Man, they
I
have
actually,
good
when I
prices.
flew the Mini 3 around in here, I didn't need them.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I got a lot of stuff around here I don't even use.
You got a lot of stuff around there that you haven't even opened.
That's
you go.
true.
There you go, Joe. That's what you need. You want to annoy Johnny? Yeah.
Well,
get
if you
some of
guys
those.
have any drone Mini 3 Pro stuff, send it this way, eh?
Those things are super small and they will last for a year, like a year and a
Oh,
half
that's-
on the battery. And they
Hey,
go off in intervals between 5 to 20 minutes.
I'm gonna get one of those, and I'm gonna put it in my daughter's boyfriend's car.
There you
Oh,
go.
man.
Oh, they got one that does a phone sound too. So you'll hear it will be like your phone's ringing. It'll make like a notification noise.
Notification to you.
But they're very small. They're like super tiny, so you can hide them like and they got 3M tape on the back.
It sounds like a cricket.
Yeah, they have different ones though.
Well, that would-
Some of them have multiple sounds, and you can choose between the sounds.
That would be a
Not
pain in the butt.
expensive either. It's $18.99.
For 5.
But they
Wow.
last. They'll run for almost a year and a half off of that one battery.
What I want is one of them that is motion detected. So when you go by it, it's like something screams at you.
Yeah, but see the problem with those two is it does it randomly anywhere between 5 minutes to 20 minutes. But it does it so quick.
Faces there,
that
and that
you
will
won't
lead
be
up
able
May
to,
2nd. So the After Dark Spring Game will be
Who's
on May
listening to
2nd
TV?
this year, which is a
Good
little
morning,
later
Mr.
than
Lance.
normal. So you know,
Lance got all kind of noise going on there.
He's
So
listening
you,
to the
have you
news.
seen that Instagram out there with the guy that's sitting next to his wife, and they got a big bear sitting between them, and the bear just barely moves, and he looks over there and he goes, and he looks like he's drunk. The guy, he goes, "You see that bear move?" And the bear moves again, and he jumps up and he said, "Did you see that bear move?" She said, "What are you talking about?" He starts beating the hell out of the bear, kicking it.
Auburn, Houston versus
He's all,
Duke.
"Move again, move again," and moves again. He starts beating it. It was funny.
93.3
Wow.
It looked like they were in that trailer doing that.
So it was a robot bear? Is that what it was?
Little stuffed bear.
Oh, okay.
Somebody had a string on and pull. I think the wife had a string on and was pulling it. I love watching those videos where the girl will be sitting on top of the refrigerator with a mask on, and the guy walks in, turns on the light, and likes to fly out the kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Or the saran wrap. They put the saran wrap in it with the glue and they walk by, it just sticks to their face.
Yeah. They had one where the mother-in-law is walking in the house, and you can tell this one was not staged. Mother-in-law's got a cane walking in the house and turns on the light, and he goes, blah, like this. She cracked him in the nuts so hard. He was bent over. She smacked him with that cane. Well, you gotta watch out. You got old women with canes, get away with them. Get away from them.
Man, they have good prices for the meetup, eh?
Good price, what do you mean?
Like the giveaway stuff. Like they got good stuff.
Oh, those good prizes. They said prices. Yeah. He got a whole bunch of stuff. You got a good chance on winning a drone.
Yeah, like that.
They've got like 8 or 9 drones they're giving away.
Yeah, couple Neos.
Yeah, watch
3
this.
Neos, couple of a couple of free bills, home bills, Air 3S. That right there, boy, I'd love to hit that.
Here, watch this. Go ahead.
Yeah, puppy.
Do we have a cat?
No, why would you think we have a cat?
Oh yeah,
Because
this is
Dad
funny.
last night was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna beat that kitty, baby." Why would Dad even want to hurt a cat?
What are you listening to? What happened? Nobody was saying something.
You need to
about
be
a
in bed, all right?
cat. Go.
Go
Go
inside.
to bed. Go to bed. That's your fault. You
No,
like mad loud.
that's your fault.
You just mad loud.
You
know?
like when I beat that
But
kitty
you know
up.
he's in the room next door.
Yeah, I see that one.
Yeah, get you in trouble. So, guess what? I got some breaking news.
What's that?
That's that second package that I'm waiting on with the other
Yeah.
pictures in it.
Yeah,
It's hung up somewhere in New Orleans.
again?
Yeah. It's been in New Orleans for 2 days.
Uh-oh.
It's New Orleans, I guarantee you. We got some DEI hires down there or something.
What's up, Randy? Oh,
That's what the guy from the office told me. He said, the problem is New Orleans. They're not processing.
so you're just gonna have to sit and wait, right?
So
So I
did
already delivered them. This is the second package.
it go UPS or US Postal Service?
No, he sent it UPS priority.
Oh, okay.
So it's been in New Orleans for 2 days.
So what, are you
Priority.
just gonna give the kids a second package for free or what?
No, I gave him all this stuff yesterday because the other one came in 15 days late.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with the other one though? Do you send it back
Well-
and they give you your money back or what?
No, I didn't pay for it. They sent it to me for free. It was just a $60 order, just the team pictures and a couple other pictures, like 11 bucks. That big picture.
Yeah, I'd just give them to the coach, let him hand them out to people.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about doing.
Give it to
Remember
the
that
coach.
picture?
Because there might be some kids that couldn't afford to buy pictures, you know, because
Good morning,
maybe
Mom. Night,
they
Pops.
could get
That
them.
picture right there. Of the kid coming through the tunnel. I'll get there. That's what the grandmother wanted. So I'm gonna have an extra one of these. So the grandmother, they'll buy one and get one free. And I told the coach, I said, let me know if you got any kids you need the team pictures for. I said, because I'm gonna have 33 extra.
Yeah, there might be some kids that couldn't afford to get them, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
for
that's
them
what I'm
to get
thinking.
it. Since you didn't have to, you're not losing any money, so.
Yeah. I told, because I only bought one for the head coach. Usually I get them for all the coaches. I didn't even think about it. I told him, I said, yours are coming in. I said, with this other order. So I'm definitely gonna, I'll probably give them all. I don't need them.
Hey, did you get a hold of DJI, Randy? About that air unit?
I'm gonna check on Boom, be right back.
Another block.
I can stand up.
Another block.
Another block. I'll count that as using the old man card.
Oh. Yes. Oh.
You call Boone, another block. Well, he's on a roll this morning. Empty chair, another block. Think about it. Shoot, the way this goes, it's gonna be a blackout.
Arnold, there's one there that I haven't heard him say.
I know. There's two there I haven't heard him say. It happened there once. We getting close to it though. You got close to it the other day.
Hey, Randy, did you get a hold of, did I ask him if you got a hold of DJ? Yeah, I did. No, the chair one's too easy though, so you got to do it if he gets up 3 times throughout the live
Now
stream.
you see what I do? I put the chair in a corner usually. And I try to put it in the corner and I put 3 of them in a corner. That's gonna happen. But the other one, very seldom. That's just scared the hell out of me just now. I was downloading something on this computer and I forgot. And all of a sudden I see something screech across the screen. I went, what the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Exactly 2 months till school ends.
So I could tell it's summertime or almost summertime here. My daughter, this must be at the, I don't know where this is at. That's my daughter in the pool with my granddaughter.
Oh, doing swimming lessons?
No, she's probably teaching her how to swim,
Yeah.
but she's in the pool with her. I'm hoping, I don't know where that's at because they don't have a pool. That's probably at the
Might be a public
at
pool.
the daycare like she's got. But I don't remember seeing the pool in the back. I'll have to ask her where was this at. But she looks like she's having a blast.
Everywhere around here, if you want to go to a pool, they actually require, if you're under a certain age, you have to have actual swimming lessons.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting ready to ask my complex something. I'm getting pissed. Our pool is perfectly ready to go out there. And they got locks on the gates. I'm gonna say, how come I pay all this money and I can't go to the pool or the hot tub?
You got bolt cutters, don't you?
Well, I'm upset about it. I want to know why. Why they've got it locked off, because it's never ever been locked off like that year round. It's always open. And it's nothing. I went back and looked at the lease and nothing about it. I want to know why they're doing that. Are they just too lazy to clean it? Because they clean it about once a week and nobody swims in it. There's a lot of money people pay here if they want that pool.
Well, I tell you what, a few times you go out with the bolt cutters and cut it open and leave it open, and they'll get the hint after a while.
Honestly, during the winter time, they should just put a cover over that and then leave the
It's an in-ground pool, Joe.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big, almost Olympic size.
yeah,
What
need
they
to-
ought to do,
and
what
leave
they
the
ought to
hot
do is
tub
if they
open.
got to close it for the winter time, they ought to say it's closed during these months.
Yeah.
Well, what they
But we
know
have
what-
hot tubs out there.
that's what I'm saying. What they need to do is put one of those heavy duty covers over the pool that you can actually walk on, one of those safety covers, like Jason's got on his pool, that you can actually walk on it, and
Yeah.
then leave the hot tubs open. And just
Well, the
cover-
problem is that they got to pay for something like that to do it. Since they got this Courtney took over, they're a bunch of assholes. Because we used to go out there in the wintertime in the hot tub. Bill used to live here. This guy Bill, you used to see him walk from his apartment on the other side. You see him coming across with his bathing suit on to be cold as hell, and he'd have his glass of wine, his towel over his shoulder, and his swimming suit, walking across with flip flops, getting the thing, get up, dry himself up, walk back. He'd be in the hot tub every day. He'd jump in the pool. And it'd be 30 degrees out there. You see the steam coming up the hot tub. He'd jump in the pool, swim, jump in the hot tub. It's crazy, man.
Well, Joe, you ought to organize the tenants into a tenants association.
They have a, what you call it, a Facebook group, and they bitch about it all the time. And they say they go into corporate with them. I got to pay my rent and them. They say, why is the pool locked up?
Yeah, you can
I'm a-
become the presidente.
I'm assuming there's locks on there that you guys can unlock, but did they add what, a secondary lock on there?
Well, they got a chain and a padlock on
Okay.
both gates. But there's a gate was locked that we have. Because you see, it used to be where they at 10 o'clock at night, it was closed at 10 o'clock at night because of the noise that people would do down there. And we could understand that. And I've had an incident where I came home from Pizza Hut one night and 3 cars pulled up with a bunch of kids in it. They walking out to the pool, right? And it's funny because I'm coming back from Pizza Hut. I've got my pistol on my side that I had in my car sticking on my side, and I'm going inside and I look at it now going out there. I see the guy jump the gate. So I go walking in there and I don't even think about having a pistol on my side like this. And I go down there and I said, hey, what are you doing jumping the gate? He goes, well, I live here. So, well, where's your key? I said, it's past 10 o'clock at night. You're not supposed to be in the pool. Well, we're just going to have a little party. No, you're not. The jail leaving like this. And the guy comes out and jumps the fence and gets in my face. And he's a big guy. And he goes to say something. He looks down, he sees the gun. He goes, oh, I'm leaving, sir. Because when he jumped over, I had Pizza Hut stuff on. But I don't know if he looked at what I had or he just saw the gun and that's what it was. But one of the girls said, let's go. And they all got up and I walked behind the car and took all the plates down. They said, what are you doing? I said, I'm taking all your license plates. So if I catch y'all back in here, I'll call the police. I said, you're not supposed to be in here.
Oh,
But
people
we
do
had
that all
we had
the
a guy
time.
lived in a front apartment that he would go out and monitor the pool. He was he worked for him like a safety officer type thing. And he heard all this ruckus in the pool one night. Walked out there and there were 4 girls skinny dipping in the pool. And they said, "Well, don't worry about us. Come jump in with us. Get out the pool."
I'm sure he immediately pulled him out. He didn't stand there and stare for a good 20 minutes.
He told him, "Get out the pool." I said, "That's when you call me for assistance."
That's right.
I heard my
You
name
just-
one night. One night, I was yelling, Joe, need you, Joe. And I'm saying, what the hell? Look out there. And this guy, Miguel, that lived across the way, was against the fence, had a guy's arm through the fence, and they were punching each other through the fence like this. And the girl's on the ground. And I'm saying, so I went running out there, and I grabbed the guy, I went in the gate and grabbed the guy, and we pinned him. I said, what the hell's going on? Well, he started beating her by the pool. Like that, she's laying on the ground bleeding. And Miguel saw it. He ran over there and grabbed the guy. And it wound up being a big fight. It wound up getting arrested. Both of them got arrested.
Was that either the Miguel, he's a tenant, but was the other guy a tenant or no?
Yeah, the girl was. The girl
Oh.
was. And it was like 11 o'clock at night. They were in the hot tub doing their thing. And what happened? Something happened where they got in an argument and he started punching on her. But she was busted up pretty bad.
See, you couldn't jump the gate at our old apartment, mine and Sarah's, because they had like a 10-foot wrought iron fence with the big spikes at the top.
Yeah.
And you had to have a cool key card, and it wouldn't let you get in there after 9 o'clock. It would automatically like change over. It was on a timer. So if you tried to go out
Yeah.
there after 9, it would just blink red if you tried to tap it on there to get in.
Well, that's good. That's a good idea.
But
We
it
got
was
a regular key.
But we had one of those big ass tall fences, wrought iron fences around, one of them big heavy duty ones. And they had the pointy spikes at the very top. So you'd be taking a chance trying to get over that.
Speaking of which, how's the wife doing today?
She's fine. She's at work.
Oh, she went back to work today? Okay.
Yeah, she wasn't out. She's just a checkup from her doctor. That was all that was. To get her confirmed for surgery in a couple months. She just has to go to a cardiologist, get the go ahead from him, and then all 3 doctors approved two out of the three have already approved it, so. The cardiologist just has to see her and approve it, and then she can go in and get her thyroid taken out. And then she'll just
What's
take
the
a,
side effects of not of the thyroid being gone?
you just have to take a pill every day for the rest of your life.
Okay, so it's
And,
it's a
and
medicated
you can
thing.
gain weight too. It affects your weight a little bit.
Well, from what she told me, it could go either way. She said some people will have rapid weight loss, some will gain weight. She goes, it's all depends on your body chemistry.
Yep. You'll be taking a little purple pill.
Yeah, so she'll just have to take that, and then
Thyroidazine, is that what it's called?
Can't remember, but it's a little pill, looks like a football, but it's deep purple.
Yeah, it just pretty much makes up for what your thyroid does in place of it.
Thyroid's not worth a damn anyway.
But yeah, but it affects a lot of shit when it goes haywire, though.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
it
that.
don't really do much until it doesn't work. You know, like an appendix. Appendix doesn't do anything until it doesn't work.
Well, appendixes are completely useless. They
Yeah,
don't do anything at all, even when they're working. They're not doing anything. Thyroid does regulate some stuff, but the appendix doesn't do jack shit. It just sits there.
that's what I said. Appendix it doesn't do anything. It's like Paul.
What? Take
Yeah,
away a
'cause-
couple of squares for that, Joe.
Now we're gonna add another one.
Because once you take the appendix out, you don't have to like substitute anything. It's just you just get sewed up and you go about your business.
I'm gonna add about 5 more things, and one of them is Paul dozes off. Because he'll sit there and he'll doze off. Just sit there like,
Like he's catching flies.
yeah.
Oh, he's fallen asleep a couple times on stream.
Yeah.
No, you guys are making it up.
Good morning, Drone
You're
Chiefs.
right.
What's up, Jody?
Hey Jody, you if you bump into Frank today, say hey, pay for me.
April Fools, yep. Now, did you have to do the bus thing this morning?
Yeah, I went back to work this morning.
Did any of the kids pull April Fool's jokes on you?
No, not that.
They're
early.
smarter than that.
I ain't got patience for that bullshit. No, they all sleep in the morning time. None of them ever say anything.
Yeah.
They all go to sleep as soon as they get on the bus. Morning runs are super quiet. A lot of them just get in a seat and they put their head up against the window and they're out.
Now, how full is the bus in the morning?
Our morning run. Well, we have 2 different runs. The first run we have only has like 8 kids on it.
So if they wanted to sleep, they could stretch out on their own seat, right?
Yeah. And then our second run, there's about maybe 20 kids, but we got 40 some seats. So
40 some seats. So that means everybody gets their own seat.
yeah, they pretty much all sit in their own seat. And they go to, they'll usually pass out. Same in the afternoon. We have a little bit more kids. We'll have about 35, 36 kids on our second run in the afternoon. In the first run, we still only have those original 8 kids from the morning that we have to take.
Mr. Lance, if you're trying to speak, you're on mute.
And in the afternoon, most of the kids don't really say a whole lot either because they're usually dead ass tired because they spend so much time on the bus. Most of them go to sleep in the afternoon too. Well, there's about 10 of them that are usually up talking, but the rest of them are usually got their headphones on and eyes closed up against the windows. Because the kids we get from Winter Haven, they have to go all the way out to Haines City. They're on the bus for like 2.5 hours because they got to
wow.
they got to get on the bus, go to Roosevelt where we pick them up at, and that's about 30 minutes on the bus, 30, 40 minutes. And they got to transfer to our bus. And then some of the last like 5 or 6 stops, yeah, they'll be on the bus for about another hour and a half. But that's because of that school choice shit that they do now. So kids can choose where they want to go to school up to a certain area away. And some kids' schools are 40, 50 minutes from their house. So I'm lucky my kids just all go to the local schools because Winter Haven High School is one of the sought out schools by a lot of kids. So we don't live that far from it. We're only like 10 minutes from the school. So
Is that like a private school or just a normal school?
no, it's a public school, but they have a lot of like advanced programs and robotics and computers, and
Oh,
they got a lot of college prep courses and stuff like that. So a lot of kids want to go to that one because of it. So they have a program. It's called, I think, the Briar program or Braden program, something like that. But it's where kids go that they'll go to get accepted into that program, and they're usually ahead of their peers. They're more advanced students. Because I get about 12 of those that come on our bus in the afternoon that come from Winter Haven, and most of those kids will just be sitting and doing homework. If they're not sleeping or talking, they'll be just doing homework the whole time they're on the bus. Those kids take their schooling super serious. The 10 or 12 that get on in the afternoon.
Kill Justin. Pit bulls dug through the fence and went after her. It sucked. When we moved back here in 2000, we had a neighbor across the street that had a pit bull, and he used to open the door and let the dog just run out in the yard. And my kids were young; they were like 1, 3, and 5. And they were out in the yard one day, and he come running over and he ran back. We called the police, and the police told him, you got to keep him in the yard, you know, in your house. You can't bring him out. You got to have a leash, follow the laws and everything like this. About a week later, I'm cutting the grass, and he comes flying over by me, and he almost got hit with the lawnmower. I lifted it up, almost got him. Had to shoot him up with the blades. And I called the police. The police came back, and the guy started mouthing off to the cops. And the door was open, and the dog started running towards the cop. Cop shot him in the house.
oh wow. Good morning.
Oh yeah, when I was in high school, there was a kid named Bryce, and he was walking home with 2 other people from the bus stop. And this guy, I guess, had been training his dogs to fight and stuff.
Hey now.
Yeah.
And they were walking home, and 2 of the dogs
Step up
got
there,
out and
man.
ended up
Step up.
killing Bryce.
Another block.
They ended up killing him. The other 2 kids got away because the 2 dogs were too busy attacking him. The other 2 kids ran because they were all elementary students. They were all in 5th grade. And the other 2 kids took off running, went and got their parents, came back. Unfortunately, Bryce had passed away. And then 2 weeks after that happened, the guy ended up getting arrested like the next day because they found a bunch of dog training shit on his property where he was training the dogs to fight. And then a week or 2 after that, his house mysteriously burned down while he was in jail.
Mysteriously. Huh?
Yeah, they never did find out who did it, but yeah, everybody knew that the family of Bryce burnt the house down. I mean, it was pretty obvious. I mean, it was too
Yeah, that
much of a
sucks.
coincidence.
Yeah.
And I don't know whatever happened to that guy because I was kind of young at the time, so I didn't really pay attention to the news like that and stuff. We just heard about it, but I was in high school at the time, so I didn't really know him.
Well,
I
we
knew his
got a
parents,
guy
though.
who lives here in an apartment down on the bottom. He's got 2 pit bulls.
Oh wow.
And in our lease, it says we can't have those dogs in the complex.
You know what it is? He probably has paperwork saying there's something else. I've seen
I know,
people
that's what I'm thinking. But I know that pit
they'll
bulls,
get
I'll put it this way. Good luck if he comes near me. They come near me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
surprised.
all pit bulls aren't vicious.
No,
But all pit bulls can turn because it's in the genes.
Like I said, people try to say, "Oh, it's all about how people raise their dogs." That's not always the case because I've known plenty of people over the years that treated their dogs perfectly, but their dogs were just naturally assholes and
Yeah.
were mean. It's not always how you
Like
raise
that,
them. Some
like
dogs are
that
just
that Pomeranian Chihuahua, that Pomchi I got. She's just normally mean.
yeah. And like I said, people will say, "Yeah, pit bulls aren't vicious dogs. It's all how you raise them." That's not always the case. Like my mom's pit bull is a perfect example. Her and my stepdad never treated their dogs poorly at all. But their one dog was just mean as shit. And I was one of the only few people that could go in their house and that dog wouldn't do nothing. Like me and Sarah and the kids could go in her house and the dog would not bother any of us. But if anybody else tried to come through that front door, that dog would go fucking nuts and try to attack him.
Wow. Well, we're not allowed to have those here anyway. Only if you live out of the city.
I said and some dogs can be nice, raised right, but that's not always the case.
It's like my cousin's German Shepherd, like I was telling you. I know he has never trained it like police type, just normally trained it. But that dog, if he doesn't know you, you can get bit. And that dog will bite you. One of his best friends, it was about a year ago, came over and he was petting the dog or doing something, and I saw a post on it that it said, I told Ray to leave the dog alone. It ended up with a ER trip and stitches. So apparently Ray, one of his best friends, was doing something with the dog and wound up getting bit where he had to go get stitched up.
Yeah, but police dogs are trained not to bite, though, right? They're just to hold the person down.
Yeah, we were trained. They were trained to defend on aggression. So if you start fighting the dog gonna fight the shit out of you. You know, gonna beat you. But
Yeah,
like Goliath was the same way. Goliath was being in that yard, and I could go in that yard. Bobby could go in that yard. You can come in the yard with me, but do not go in that yard without me, because he will tear you up.
Like when you think of like golden retrievers, you always think of a sweet, loving dog. Dude, I've met a few golden retrievers over the years that were mean as fuck. And you wouldn't think that they're mean dogs generally because they're usually not. Golden retrievers are usually very laid back animals or dogs. But I have met a few over the years that were mean as fuck.
Well, it just goes to the fact dogs have individual personalities.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it's just like a human.
I said it's not always how you raise them. It's just their personalities can be naturally mean or whatever. Like I've met German Shepherds that were really nice, sweet to everybody that walked up to them. I've met other German Shepherds that were mean as fuck. It just that really don't.
Speaking of which, look at this killer. Let me see if I get it on it. Let me send it to my thing.
I don't
it's
think
easier.
you can really generalize a certain group of dogs. I mean, it's up to
They're showing a dog on there. It's a vicious dog right now. Hold on, get it.
All right, I gotta jump off. I'll catch y'all later.
Okay,
Okay,
Justin,
guys.
take care.
Come on.
Justin had a weird personality.
Yeah, he must have got see who's in the chat? Laura. I gotta
Laura.
go. I gotta go.
Why is this thing not sending it? Well, if it comes through, I'll show y'all this vicious dog that you showed on TV. I think it's Apple phone that does this. Sometimes it'll send it, sometimes it takes its time. I was on one of the sites the other day. I think it was Vistaprint, trying to look at making a new business card. And it told me they give veterans discounts to, if I get verified through ID Me, through the veteran site. So I put my information in, it's come back as good and verify me. Said I'd send documents in, the DD 214 and stuff like this. So I sent it all in. Come in,
Lance,
said
how
they
you
can't
doing?
verify me. Couldn't verify me, right? So went back, went on their site and said, I don't understand how you cannot verify me when I'm giving you a copy of my driver's license and my thing. Sent it in. They said they couldn't verify me. I said, what do you need? Like this. And they said, we need a DD-24. I said, just send it to you. They come back, oh, you verified. Like that. So it picks up automatically on Vistaprint, right? It cost me more after I got verified.
Oh, wow.
I got less discounts. I said, well, what's the difference, you know? If for some reason this picture ain't going through, it'll go through eventually. I'll show y'all this vicious dog when it goes through. I want y'all to get the full view of this dog.
What you want? Hey, Ed, I think he wants to go out.
Who wants to go out?
He gets bored. Boone.
Oh,
He goes over the door, turns around, looks back at me. Here he comes again.
Yeah, he wants to go out and play.
can you leave the door open a little bit? Is it too cold, Paul?
Well, it's too cold. It's only 30 degrees.
Oh, okay.
Boone. Oh, 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 oh.
It's saying, open the door.
I'll let you out. Right back. I can get up now.
And so that's very, very simple to follow, but when you let it water, the jury gets confused. And so to give the context of the physical evidence, you have to use.
Good morning, Mr. Lance.
Hey, how are you doing, Ed?
Good, good. And you?
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah, here's this vicious dog they were showing.
What the?
Look like one of those squirrels in his backyard, huh? A little rat dog.
Look at the hair coming out of the ears. Wow.
I'm telling you. Now that's probably, it said the dog was only like a year old, but he got an old man look to him. See, that's the kind of dog Paul needs right there.
He looks mean too. Like,
Got poor Chihuahua. That's probably why. Yeah, you heard me over there. You mean. Yeah, she did something like I said yesterday, day before yesterday, Loki, and he pulled a muscle on his neck trying to get away from her. And then last night, all of a sudden, I hear all this noise, and I hear one of them yipe, and I turn around, she done bit the hell out of Tina over something. I don't even know what it was. I looked at her and I went, "You bad." She looks at me, walks down the hall. I was looking to see if she left me a turd. But that's 2 days in a row that she's growled at one of them. You see that? See the growling? And no growling in this house.
Hey, Paul,
Yeah.
Joe found you a nice dog for you.
Yeah, let me show you again.
Yeah,
You.
show
This
Paul.
is the dog you need right here.
What the hell is that?
That's the kind you need right there, a little bitty one.
Well, you know, the sad part is just between us is I'm not so sure. Yeah, I love Boone to death, but maybe I'm too old to have a dog that's as rambunctious as Boone. Now, as soon as it starts getting dark, 7, 8 o'clock, he's on the couch and he sleeps all the way until 6 or 7 in the morning.
That's good. So the only thing you got to do is let him out.
Yep. So
You're too worried about him.
If it were warmer weather, he'd be happy to be out all day long.
But he's happy to be out now. You see,
Well, yeah,
you keep.
he comes up on the back porch and starts whining.
Well, then that's when you let him in, and then he wants to go out. Let him out, or find a way to get him to work with that thing you don't like.
That's an old guy. That's an old guy like me thing, getting up and taking going. You know.
That's why you gotta get that thing back up there and open it up and go in and out with him 10, 12, 14 times so he knows how to get in and out of it. He will learn.
Well, as soon as it gets warmer, I've got the screen netting will go up there.
But you could get the other one working. You're making excuses. I would have that other one working by now. That way you don't have to get up and don't worry about them. Let them go. Now you need to fix that gate on the front.
Yeah, the jumping gate. Yep.
Yeah, all you need is a piece of wood. Piece of wood, put it up above it and screw it into the main 2x4 in the back that's holding it. Or whatever beam you got going across the top, put something 2 feet above that and just put 2 or 3 screws in it. He can't jump past that. And then you fine, let him have fun out there. And if you're worried about the cold that much, get a little dog house and stick it up in there. He'll go sit in the house because if he gets cold, he's gonna want to come in or he'll go sit in that house. Every one of the shepherds we had were outdoors. Wintertime, everything. They can handle a lot better than us.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get with Johnny when he comes back. Find out if this shirt, it's polyester, if he could put the emblem, my new logo on the shirt. I got one of these shirts coming. I want to see if he can do it. One like that. So he can see if he could put that on there because he could do them. I think that'd be a good looking shirt.
Boone, stop.
What do you think, Paul? You think that look good?
Yeah, that looks cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got to see if Johnny, because Johnny can make all of these, and he's got the press to put them on. And if you can do it on the polyester, I'm gonna definitely get about 3 of these made.
yeah,
And I'd like to get this in blue,
another day in paradise.
the shirt in blue, but the white's okay. Get a couple of them for special occasions, you know?
Yeah, no, look, that looks sharp.
Or get like a gray shirt with the flag coming through it, something like this. If they'd have another one like that, but I can't find anything else like that. The white was the only one. I don't know why it's so dreary right now. We're supposed to be in the 80s all week and it's dreary looking.
Yeah, same thing here. It's like really dark.
They're having that funeral today for that deputy that was killed.
Oh,
I'm thinking about going out there to shoot some pictures because the procession, when they leave the funeral house, it's gonna probably have like 100 motorcycle cops, everything else.
okay.
And I'm actually thinking about putting up a drone to get it.
Nice. Do they do their salute with the guns too, like shots and shoot up in the
They
air?
will at the wherever they're going. The funeral, it's gonna be a private ceremony. They will.
Oh, okay.
They have a once a year they do it here. They do a Memorial Day for all the fallen officers. And I usually shoot it for Mandeville for the police department.
Mhm.
And we go over and the ceremony's inside and they get to a point in the ceremony where out at the point that's about 4 miles away, about 2 miles away, they do the guns, the salute outside. And what they'll do is I'll shoot to a certain point, run out, get in the police car, we'll fly down there, code 3, get me there in time to shoot that, and then we'll fly back. You know?
Nice.
So I get to ride in the front seat back and forth with the lights and sirens. It brings me back a days old when I used to run the ambulance.
Mhm.
I used to have fun with that. You know, I had all different siren things I could do. But the best time I ever had on an ambulance, we were in the middle of New Orleans, and he was pretty new. He was pretty new, and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and he was driving, and because I remember I had to tell him what to do. And we got a code 3 call on top of the Greater New Orleans Bridge, possible injuries. Now we've got to get to the bridge, and we're in the middle of the city, in the middle of the business district. So you got to get to Camp Street, run up Camp Street, you got to hit the bridge and get up. So and there's traffic, right? And as we get it, they said, copy code 3, I said 10-4, got it. I went down, and I said, I said, hit your lights and sirens. He hits his light and sirens. And I said, and he's sitting there, and I said, you see those 2 big bus lanes in the middle of the road? Go in there. He goes, what? I said, roll right down the median and where the bus lanes are. Go fast as you can between them. When you get up to the different areas, slow up. Make sure you're not hitting anybody, and go through. I said, we got this. So I was telling him, this is how you do it, right?
Mhm.
And I reached in and got my ice chest out, and I said, I'm gonna eat before we get there, because I know we might be stuck there for a while because of injuries. And I was hungry, right? I had a meatball sandwich. So I'm sitting there, we're going lights and sirens down the middle of it. We got about a mile to go before we make the turn, right? And he's flying in between. I'm sitting there eating my meatball sandwich like this. And every time we get to the intersection, slow down, they got tourists sitting there watching me eat the sandwich. You know? But I was eating my sandwich. I don't know. I wish I'd had video on the faces I was seeing. We got up on top of that bridge and with 4 kids that got rear-ended up on top of the bridge, and they're all standing around outside the car. The woman and the woman that hit him was fine. Everybody's fine, right? And the 4 kids are all minors.
Oh,
So I'm on there and I said, I need to see your IDs. Y'all all okay? What is it? Let me see your IDs. And I got all the IDs. I'm looking at them, and the woman's fine. And we had another unit pull up, and the other unit took the woman and was talking to her. And I told the kids, so we got an issue. Need to get a hold of your parents. I said, if we don't get a hold of the parents, all 4 of y'all going to the hospital. Well, why? We're not hurt. I said, because you're minors. You can't tell me you're not hurt. And they looked at me and they said, hold on. They tried to call the mom, couldn't get a hold of anybody. I called in for another unit, had the other unit on top of that bridge. I said, they got rear-ended and all of this. Spine boarded every one of them.
oh wow.
Put them on the board tape because they were in an accident. Said they found them ambulatory, spine boarded for prevention. You know, I just took them all to the hospital. And the funny part about it, one of the moms comes in bitching, having a fit. Why they have to leave work? And why did they have to bring you to the hospital? I looked at her and said, because you didn't answer your phone. I said, you saw, and she says, you called me and I couldn't take the call. I said, if you'd answered the call and said you gave me permission to refuse, for him to refuse, because he said he was fine, I would have let him go home. I said, but you need to answer your son's phone call in the future like that.
Wow.
But it took us, that call took us 2.5 hours by the time we got cleared. But I knew. That's why I said, let me eat my sandwich. You get those feelings, you know. When you're out there, you know it's going to be, oh, here we go. We had one woman that used to, we had a bad habit at Medic One that if somebody got hurt, they'd go and settle with you real quick, hand you a couple $1,000. If something stupid happened to somebody, like if a stretcher fell or something like this, things like that do happen. I had a stretcher almost fall one time, come loose. The guy hit the other end accidentally, and this woman was about 250 pounds, and I strained my back holding that thing up till he grabbed it.
Wow.
You know, but then we were going down the stairs with this one woman, and she had already had a couple of incidents, so she got cash. So she was almost incoherent, and we're taking her down the stairs, and I saw her look to the side when we got down about 2 stairs, and she started leaning that way to fall out the chair. Man, I grabbed her, put my knee against her, pushed her back in the chair, and I pinned her against the wall. And I said, let me explain something to you. I said, you just hurt me. And she's looking at me, and I said, I guarantee you, if you ever do that again, I will not only let you fall, but I'll assist you in falling. And you're not going to have to worry about the money that you're going to make because you're not going to have any comprehension the rest of your life to know about it. I said, I will slam your head on the ground. Like that. And she just looked at me, and I said, stop doing that when I'm picking you up. And she never gave me crap again. You know? I said, I'll throw your ass right on the ground. My partner's looking at me like, you know, like, what's going on? I said, my back's killing me now. But and she was about 300 pounds. But you gotta take control of situations sometimes, especially in EMS.
Thank you for calling.
TJ, it's coffee time at work.
Laura says she's not at home. They're not on, yeah, right, okay. Like, we believe you. I'm gonna let Sarah know that every time Laura comes on, he's gotta jump off, something going on.
Um,
Yeah, the guy, they had, see, I think that not enough either. The guy that his dogs went through the fence and killed that woman, he's getting charged with negligent homicide. And and they just gave him a bond of $100,000,
oh, wow.
you know, so I'm sorry. When it comes to something like that, it ought to be $1 million at least minimum. Make them have to come up with $100 grand. Or $100,000, no reduction on 10%. But one of the things they just voted down, you ready for this?
Hmm.
They voted down a whole bunch of amendments. A 2-cent tax, sales tax, right? That's
Yep.
already here. We already have it. Not gonna cost you anything more. But they want to extend it for 20 years, dedicated strictly for criminal justice. To be able to use it strictly in the criminal justice system to have more officers and work on the jails and make the jails better. And the people said, no. It's stupid. You're not paying anything different than you're paying. And it's right here in St. Tammany Parish where they got more money than they can deal with. That's the stupidest thing in the world.
Just because of
So
2
when
cents.
they don't have the jails to put people in, and it's something that's already taxed. It's already there. It expires this year. But it's already here. That's the thing. It's already here. Not like it's going to cost you anything more, and it's not on your property. It's on sales tax. You don't buy it, you're not going to pay it. You know? And they said the reason was they wanted it for too long. Well, if you do it now for 20 years, chances are you may not need it later on.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Especially if you're paying for it already and you don't notice.
Yeah. You're paying. What we're going to do? It's going to save you 2 cents on a dollar from now on. These guys, they drive Mercedes. 2 cents on a dollar don't matter.
Some people. Right, Paul?
Right?
Last year, their firemen wanted it was a small thing, not like a quarter percent or something like this, to increase firemen's pay, and they voted it down.
Well, at least a good thing happened to us today. Our gas went down 18 cents. Woohoo!
That's a good thing.
Yeah. We don't have to pay covered tax on the gas. I was wondering why.
Another day was
Oh, go ahead.
at $2.62 the other day for gas. And it doesn't make sense. We've been fluctuating between 265 and 252, and it goes back and forth. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but you guys don't use liters there, right? It's
No, we got gallons.
gallons. Yeah. Here was $1.54 a liter.
Paul, did you see that thing that they got a what was the name of it? Can't remember. It was shown on Laura Ingraham last night. It's a can't remember what it was. It was a museum they made up. They they gave $4 million. It's the size of, not even the size of my apartment. That they
Really?
made a museum, and they were showing it where they had timelines on things. Basically, it was talking about the Green New Deal and all kind of stuff like this. Didn't say anything other than that about energy. They were talking about those against fossil fuel and all of this. They had a presidential timeline, and they skipped right over Trump on first term. And it's open to the public. So they spent $4 million to build this little bitty thing. It probably cost maybe $200,000 to build. They came in and said, we're closing it. You know, we're not renting this building anymore. Done. Crazy. Might have been the Environment Protection Agency. And they didn't charge anybody to go see it. It's open to the public. That's how these people that are working that make $170,000 a year in 4 years have 15 million in their bank account. Wish I could do that legally.
I wonder if Mr. Mark slept in this morning.
You might have had a doctor's.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What's your plans for today, Mr. Paul?
Yeah, nothing good. I'm still trying to figure out how to fix that gate on the side of the garage. I'm gonna screen share what I was just looking at.
Is it a metal gate or a wooden gate?
Metal.
Do you know your measurements of it?
Hang on, I'm gonna go out and measure it right now.
60 feet. 60 feet.
Get back.
Should have told him to take a picture of it. You got your phone, take a picture, Paul. Oh, we never get to see it because you don't know how to get it to her. See, I would, if he's got a metal strip on the top.
Yeah, I think
And
that would be more. That would
Yeah,
be
if he's
more
got a-
dangerous for the dog because he can climb off that.
Yeah, he can climb that. He can get his feet up in there and climb that. So
Yeah,
I'm saying if if he's got a metal bar on the top, if it's got like an inch or 2 inches, all he's got to do is get a piece of wood. You know, a piece of wood that goes up about 3 feet. It's probably because it wouldn't look good. Probably why. Because that's the reason he don't like that thing in the door, the thick one. He said he didn't like the way it looked.
yeah.
But if you have a piece of wood wide enough to cover, it goes up about 2 feet above it. There's nothing you can grab on. And if you got it, if it's a solid gate where you can't see through it, then you need you just get a solid piece of metal and drill that, and put it up. You can go get that at Home Depot, get a piece of like corrugated steel. They could probably cut it for you. The size you need.
Yeah.
You know, the stuff to put on roofs, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just cut one, drill you about 4 holes, put 4 good bolts in there, and that way it jumps up, you can't hit it.
Because this one, it looks like he's going to be able to get out.
Yeah, I think so.
It's 48 inches wide. And it's
Hey, Paul.
fifty. It would be 50 inches tall.
That's the top of your gate, 50 inches.
Yeah.
That's only 4 inches, 4 foot 2 inches. Thought you said you had an 8-foot gate.
Well, it's 48 inches wide by what is that? 6 foot. It's 6 foot by 50. It says
By
at the top.
50, yeah.
Yeah, but you see that all that little mesh right there?
Yeah.
If he jumps up there, gets his paws in there, he might be able to climb that.
Well, that's similar to the gate that I got out there now.
Do you have a camera facing your gate that you
This
could show
gate?
us? Yeah.
The
No,
one
like
out there.
your gate.
Hang on.
Or if you could take a picture and show us.
Yeah, let me grab my camera and take a picture.
Please and thank you. Take your time, don't rush. That wouldn't fit anyway. It's 2 inches too wide.
Yeah. But that's what it said, similar to the gate. He's trying to match it. Yeah, I wouldn't care about matching it.
I don't know if you guys can see this or not.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
And when
It's
he
basically the
jumps-
same.
He jumps, he comes up to the top of that gate. He's got this much of his body up above that gate.
Yeah, because if you're only 50 inches high, that's 4 foot 2 inches. So that's only you know, you need to go higher, but that's going to be too wide. That's 2 inches wider than you need.
Yeah, the other thing about it is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but do you see right here? It's got a thing where you lift it up and you can swing the gate and then you put it down and it swings over.
Oh yeah, you have a latch. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
you would almost be better getting you a wooden gate to put in there that's higher.
Attach a
just
wood
replace-
gate to it?
Yeah, what I would say, you replace it with a wooden gate that's higher than that. Get you a 6 or 7 foot, a 8 foot wooden gate that you could put in there and replace it.
I gotta do something because right now, he's got paw prints up the side of the garage, this high above the gate.
And there's nothing you can really screw into it right there. Because like I was saying, if you had a piece of wood or a piece of sheet metal that you could put up higher, just to give you another 2 foot or something like that, it would be better. You go get you a 4 foot by 3 foot piece of sheet metal and just screw it in, but you don't have anything to brace it.
Yeah.
Actually, it would still work if you brought it down about a foot down. You still have 2 foot above there. That would be enough brace, I think, because it would hold itself. But if you found your wooden gate to replace that with, it might be maybe a little bit more, but it'd be a better gate.
I don't know. But I gotta do something because he's a wild man, you know?
Yeah, he's tall.
He's
jump
gonna
up
figure,
there.
he's gonna sooner or later figure out how to go over that gate.
Yep.
And not do that for support institutions that don't support this, and the right to protest.
But get.
Maybe get a gate company or something, huh?
Yeah, have them come out and tell them you need to put an extension on it. Or you could probably buy another metal gate, probably cheaper. Let me look at something.
Okay, guys, what do you think?
Hold on. You said it's
Are we
only
gonna
50
pack it
inches
in?
tall, right?
What's that?
Are we gonna pack it in? I want another bingo card.
You said it's only 50 inches tall, right?
Yeah.
And 48 wide.
Well, that's because it's got these the metal hooks like this where the
Where the kid sits on top, yeah.
yeah, where the post goes through and one's going up and one's going down below, you know, so that it swings.
Yeah. Sort of like this one. Sort of like that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that one right there is 6 foot by 4 foot. So it gives you another 12 inches. Another in height, 12 inches in height.
Where,
It's got
where
the
is
things
that?
like
at?
that. Home Depot.
Okay.
And that's $80. And you got that's 6 foot by 6. 6 by 4 is what you need, but you might want to see if you could find one that's maybe 7 or 8 foot by 4 foot. They might make one that's 8 foot by 4 foot.
Hello, you've reached Brindy Hartman, Assistant Principal for Seniors at Silas High School. I'm currently either away from my desk or on the other line.
But that one right
Your
there
name,
is basically what you got out there, right?
Right.
And that's 6 foot high instead of 52 inches. You sure it's not 62 inches?
Well, the thing of it is I was leaving a space down below like this, and then it went 52 inches up.
Yeah. You got a little small space, basically, on the bottom.
Well, do they have those in stock, or do you got to order them?
Well, that's here. Hold on. You can have to look in your store.
Okay.
Let's see.
That's
Hold
Home
on.
Depot.
Hold on. They got 5 in stock by you. Now that's got a little latch that goes up and down with a hole. You have a lock in it?
No.
It'll
What
you
it
bet
does
if
is
you-
it goes down over the top of it like this and holds it.
Yeah. Yeah, but if he could push that, he learns how to push that up, that gate's open in a minute. If you got a place to put a lock, I'd put a lock in there too. Because this one, if you look at it right here, right there, same kind, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he hits that thing, it's gonna open it up. You need to put a lock in it. Because he'll learn that in a minute.
Well, no, what the other one is it's the same width as the post, and
Right.
it's you lift it up and you put the little hook over top of the post and you slide it back down the post.
So it does, you gotta take it off the post then.
Yes.
Well, that's a little different than this. This is a whole different one. Because this one, it doesn't, it just locks in place. But you got a hole where you put a lock in there so you can't lift it up.
Okay.
See, that would be, you'd have to have a lock on that gate.
Well, maybe the best thing to do would be to ask around somebody that does fences and come over and say what I've got and see what they've got, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe
they may have something.
yeah.
I would put at least 7 foot,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah, I would put at least 7 foot to give you that, because that'd give you another 2 feet above it.
Yeah.
And the other sides that they have here aren't going up in height, they're just going in width. Now they got one, this one right here. But it's this one right here, this one would have worked. This would have worked in a minute. If it was the right size. That one right there, it's 42 by 72. If that's the problem, it's only 3.5 feet wide. If that was 4 feet wide by 72, I'd say go buy that one.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. I don't like that little crap they got on the top though, for decoration.
See, that's what this one's got, that decoration on top.
So that's the same gate then, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because I noticed it right here, that looks like it slides on.
Yeah.
But that's the one you need right there, one like that, but 40, they might make one 7 foot high. Yeah, 'cause this fits 42 inches wide and it's 72 inches tall. That's what you need. I'd call around. For 150 bucks, that would be a good one. Either that or like I said, either that or forget about having the galvanized and get you a fence that would fit up in there. Like I know there's a wooden fence.
She defended those images.
Good.
People need to see that. They need
Huh.
to see next days is going to use every tool that we have to make our community safe. But that is a consequence of someone who's a terrorist. And to ensure that, to look at that, was giving
That's the brace.
transparency that they want.
I'll just show you a picture. This isn't a gate though.
I think people who have
But if you could find something like that to put in there, you know, just to replace it, that would be good. Something like that. But that's just the braces. I know Home Depot has those.
I would just phone the fence company and get them come to take a look and
Yeah,
I
have
think I
them
would.
tell me
Yeah.
what they need. Yeah.
yeah. You don't want to be spending that much money and then it doesn't fit and then you have to take it back.
Yeah.
And plus they can do it right there too. So
Yeah, they'll put it in.
And they'll know what I've got, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they might have one in it if they could bring out to you. Because look, I'll show you this one.
Good morning, Trevor.
Like something like that, they could put in right there. I don't know the height on this thing, but that's 47 wide, 172. But that would be something you could look at. He wouldn't be able to see through it, so he couldn't see the little rats in the front yard, so he wouldn't go crazy.
Yeah.
That might be your best bet right there. You know, I'd give him a call and tell him, could you come look at it and let us know? Let me know. Yeah, because looking at the gate you got nothing you can screw on it. Nothing you can do. The only way you could do that, there's one way to do it, is if you took a piece of like 4 foot by 4 foot and brought it down 2 feet and screwed it right in the middle. That way you got enough brace on it, like a piece of corrugated metal. But you'd have to measure it out and put holes right in the middle and put it, and it hang down 2 feet and hang up 2 feet. That's what I would do. You know, I wouldn't care about the way it looked. I'd just make sure the dog couldn't jump over it. Or just change the whole fence up. Might cost you the same thing.
How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, Trevor.
You must have a company close by, Paul, that does fencing, no?
Yeah, I would imagine. Not that I use them all the time, you know?
Yeah, no.
Nah, darn. A car alarm going off over here. And I heard another one going off on the side, another one in the back. 3 different car alarms went off.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Last night on Drone Nation, they were talking about the new V-copter coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be a crowdfunding, and they said the first 100 people that fund it are gonna get something special. Everybody on the panel said they're buying one.
They think Johnny has one, eh? That was funny.
I told them they could not. I can't tell you. If y'all do notice, he did hold up a box, and it was a box. It was a smaller box. I can tell you. I just don't like the fact that you might pay $400 or $500, and then you might have to wait 8 months, 9 months for it.
Oh wow.
Because the last people that bought them, with the crowdfunded the last time, it took almost a year to get them.
Wow. But they don't hit your account until they ship it, right?
I couldn't tell you. I think they did. I think they took it up front. That's what Bamboo did when they were doing their, well, not Bamboo, Anchor Mate. They did when they were doing the fourth system like Bamboo. They took the money up front, and then a year and a half later, they said they can't get it to work right and gave the money back.
Oh,
Oh wow. That comes out Thursday, right? Thursday morning.
Thursday, noon Eastern. So Thursday, 11 o'clock, I'll be sitting there trying to see what it costs. Trying to make a decision whether I really want to do this or not.
Probably
If
$600.
I get one, I want a yellow one. I want the yellow one.
What colors do they have?
Yellow and black.
Oh,
Sold this thing to down. I couldn't figure out why this thing wouldn't fit, right? I've changed one little thing in my intro. And it's 10 seconds long. So why is it giving me a 7-second one? Don't make sense.
Okay, pencil.
Paul reminds me of my mom. We used to, when my mom, like a gate right now, my mom would be get all in, it's like Nervine, we call her, Miss Nervine.
yeah, he's worried.
I work too, because if he said, I thought he said he had a 6-foot gate. Now he's got a 4-foot gate. That's why the dog is jumping up. And I'm surprised that dog hasn't got over that gate already.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, Trevor said people could lose their money. Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
See, they put out the hover and the new hovers and everything. That's why I'm thinking that you're probably not going to lose it, but they probably need the money to finish producing them.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Remember, there's still that case of micro drone 4.0 that's still going on.
Yeah.
Right? Thousands and
Right.
thousands and thousands of people put in and purchased it.
Yep.
And there's no checks, there's decent checks and balances to make sure that the person at the end of the day gets a product that actually, and it might be a case that you end up with a product that is absolutely useless and can't do a darn thing, can't even get off the ground, but you've got a product.
Right. You got a point.
So it's going ahead and saying yes, or you'll get a special gift if you actually buy but fund it now. No, that's just one of those that's tactics that you see on late night television to actually go and buy some piece of crap that they want to sell you.
Yeah, you might only get the
those,
gift.
Yeah. Or you might not get anything at all.
Yeah.
The one the one in the UK that is still ongoing. The guy won't give back the money, and is he's actually going ahead and
Oh, yeah.
living the life, as to put it, on people's money that he never had any intention of releasing a product. He never had a working product design in the first place. So yeah, it is a big concern. If you go ahead and back those types of things, be prepared to lose the money.
Right.
So, and in a fair few cases, in some of those crowdfunding things, you might as well have gone ahead and got the money out of the bank and actually used it to actually as toilet paper, because that's you'd got more value out of it. So yeah, I'm very, very careful as to actually backing anything like that. I don't back those types of things, because we all know that you can have a great idea on paper, but when it comes to getting it to work, it might not even get off the ground. And it's easy to go ahead and produce a promotional box that it looks really great and everything as to what your drone's going to look like, and not even have a product yet, or a product that's even ever been assembled. So it's something to be very, very wary of. Don't I would suggest, if there's people out there that have money to go ahead and purchase one of these drones, etc., keep it in their pocket and buy something that's actually already on the market and already being talked about as to how good it is and things like that. Don't go purchasing something that is still in somebody's head, yet to be produced, because when it comes to producing them, a lot of people that on these crowd sharing things have got no idea of how much it's going to cost in real life to actually produce these items, and that's how they come unstuck. And unfortunately, there's far more people that come unstuck than what there is good success stories. So
Yeah, that would
It
be
makes
scary.
sense. Because I don't really want to spend that money unless I know I'm getting it.
yeah, but, I'm very very careful with my dollars and cents, and over the years I've seen these crowdfunding things come
And
come
they're
and go.
actually allowed to do that, like take your money and then,
Yes.
wow.
Put it this way, it's built out on the crowdfunding page that you may not even see a product, and the person's in a sense required to give you a refund, but it might be so late in the process that they find that they can't deliver a product, that they've spent most of the money trying to tool and get stuff done, that you get cents back in the dollar, or you don't see anything at all, or like with Microdrone, where the guy just kept going ahead and saying the product is coming, to try and draw more people in, to actually get more money, to try and do something. He never had a production model that was actually working.
Oh wow.
Wow.
and that's a big one. If you ever want to be put off of these crowdfunding ones, go to Geek Varna's page and look for his videos on Microdrone, and you'll see how much crap that actually has gone on,
Oh.
and it's still it's like I've only been watching on his pages since just before COVID, and it's still going today. People that still have never seen a refund, and probably not likely to either, because he hides under the fact that most of the buyers were from the US, etc., and he's in the UK, so they don't have access to the legal system in the UK to actually to sue him. So yeah, it's
Wow. Well, Joe, you order one and let me know how it goes.
yeah. Then Joe's got a lot of money.
You're on mute, Joe.
Johnny Drone Bar is going to do it.
Johnny,
Ron, Johnny, Ray, all of them said they were going to buy one.
Wow, that's a big.
Yeah. That's where people come unstuck. He goes ahead and, as a channel owner, goes ahead and suggests it, and everyone goes ahead and follows his lead. And unfortunately, he's going to find there's going to have a lot of very unhappy people that he actually ever mentioned this particular project, because some people will possibly have not even gone and looked at taking up the idea unless they only did it because he said to do it, because he actually is well known for drones and stuff like that. So yeah, you've got to be extremely careful. What you recommend?
Yeah,
I'm
still kicking myself.
It's like you, Joe. With some of your recommendations you make for poor Paul, and you tell him that you should go and buy these things.
The more I see on the leaks that are coming out with the Mavic 4, the leak came out yesterday about they're talking about the digital ND filters. They're saying that's an accessory, $200 something dollars. You know, and I'm seeing all this stuff coming out. I'm kicking myself that the other day I didn't jump all over that Whoop deal for the Mavic 3 Pro, one battery and a controller for $15.99. Because I've got a Mavic 3 that was just gave me an updated Mavic 3 and an extra battery. I hit 5 batteries.
Yeah.
And I already have the controller. I could have sold that controller. Probably got at least $100 for it, $150 for it.
It's going to be interesting. They're not rushing the release like they went ahead and got all the enterprise drones released as quick as possible because they're worried about losing the US market. And actually, I was talking to a leader from one of the emergency services who actually does all the purchasing for that particular emergency service on drones, and he's been told that they're at the moment prioritizing sales to the US because they're worried about once the tariffs cut in, them being far too expensive. You put 100% tariff on something, it's going to make it very expensive. So they're getting those customers taken care of first.
Right.
And so few people have been put slightly in delay. And I think they're worried about the Mavic 4, the same type of thing actually happening. So they're not racing the release because they're waiting to see what actually happens. Will these tariffs really take off in the way that your fearless leader wants them to, or not? Or will he partly back down a bit, and the tariffs will be a little bit lower? Who knows? So it's much like his comments about becoming seeking a third term. We don't know.
Yeah, he's messing with people's minds right now.
Yes, look, in one sense, so I could possibly see him actually trying, because he's etc. But in another sense, at the moment, he really he's just playing with them because he's got what another 3 years to go.
Yeah. I'm saying he's just messing with the Democrats right now. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
I get my daughter calling me. You see, he's saying he's gonna run for another term. Yeah, go away. Bye. Hung up.
The problem is, I really I'm not into your constitution and things like that, but if it's built out that you get 2 terms in the constitution, I think that's
well, Trevor, what it says in the Constitution, 2 consecutive terms.
It's 2 terms. 2 terms.
So in other words,
Just
much
plain
like
2 terms. No one shall be able to serve as president for more than 2 terms. Period.
Right.
Doesn't say consecutive. It says 2 terms. Stop.
Well, you see, over in Russia, your next door neighbors, it was written into the constitution there that the 2 terms bit, and so Putin, when he did his first 2 terms,
he
couldn't restand, so he actually left the limelight for 1 term, and then he came back again, and as he said, well, it says 2 consecutive terms, and used that to get back in. Then he went ahead and changed it to make sure that he can't be chucked out the door.
Yeah.
So
Trump was saying yesterday, there's ways to do it, and he might be trying to pull the same thing, like 2 consecutive terms. And he says he wants to go against Obama. It sounds like it's like a Rocky thing, you know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. He's just messing with people. That's all he's doing. Shoot, he's crazy to try to want to do another term. Just get out and enjoy your life.
I think it's a case that it's going to be interesting to see how his tariffs actually go, because in a sense, it's going to take up the prices over in America, because all of a sudden things are going to be very expensive to come in the front door into America. So you guys are going to be paying higher prices. I just can't see the production being there of all these other bits and pieces and all these to actually replace what he's actually putting tariffs on coming into the country in the first place.
You do have a point there.
But just put it this way: if you turn off, we'll go on steel and aluminium for the 2 big ones that's gone worldwide that he's going to be imposing the tariffs on.
Hey Joe, I made you host. I'll be back. Maybe if not, shut it down.
You go ahead and look at those. You cut it off tomorrow. How long is it going to take to build a steel smelter? Just the steel smelter alone, or the aluminium production line, to go ahead and take up the demand. Because it's not something that can be built overnight. Tell me about it. I live 300 k's away from a steel melter, which a smelter that just recently had a bad shutdown. They had to shut down to do maintenance, and they shut it down for too long, and everything clogged up. And the replacement's going to take 2 to 2.5 years to actually to be built. So yeah, it's one of those things. I don't think you're going to be able to ramp up overnight. There'll be some industries that will have to find ways of actually producing things in your country, but I don't think it's going to quite work as he predicted. So in the short term, you guys are going to be paying through the nose for everything.
Well, I know one thing is they got a lot of people starting to commit to come here, and a lot of money being brought in with companies saying they're going to rebuild here now and everything else. So that's still going to take time.
Yeah. By the time you get the CEOs over, and then they'd find office space, get the company up and actually produce. Just in administration side in your country, and then they've got to get producing whatever widget they make or whatever service they provide. They've got to get producing that, and it takes a lot of lead-in time. So, Trump's last day in politics may come and go, and you've still got high prices in America. Because it's not something you can't turn production on overnight. And back when we had COVID, there was a large number of things that we relied on overseas to come into for that item to come into the country, that we actually started producing medical supplies and things like that we had to ramp up and get going, and that took months just to get basic PPE supplies being produced here in this country, because we didn't have the production, or we didn't have the capability to do it, even though we actually made we made the toilet paper and paper products, stuff like that. The guys that were making toilet paper down in the southeast of my state actually made 10 years worth of toilet paper in 6 months and couldn't keep up with demand. So, but things like face masks and stuff like that, it all takes tooling to get going, and if you aren't producing it in the first place in your country, it makes it very, very hard to get up and started.
Yeah. Stop looking at me. Trying to get something from it. I ain't giving it to them. But you're right though. That's going to be the big issue here, and people going to be patient,
Yeah. Well, when you look at it, monetary wise, inflation was going to come down for your country probably in the late half of this year. It was going to start coming down just by natural process. Wouldn't go backwards. It's not going to go backwards because no one wants inflation to go backwards in their country, because that gives you negative growth. But the money markets were saying things were calm down. Oh boy, I will get a new fruit one of these days. But it's like here, ours is just starting to turn back to reasonable figures and not quite as it's not as good as what we wanted, but it's just starting to turn and make that change. You just got to be. It's a case of being patient, especially when you look at COVID. Government spent a lot of money fighting it, or fighting COVID and stuff like that, and it shut down supply chains. It took a long time. It's taken a long time for all the supply chains to get back up and operating back the way they used to, and it's those supply chains that it brings the price down. If you've got plenty of supply, to well and truly meet the demand, prices won't go up.
Right.
It's only when you got more demand, more demand, you got supply that you have a problem. So
This is the hardest thing in the world when I'm trying to do something on this computer that's not on that. It's on my other computer, and the password's on my other computer, and I got to get it over to this one. I'm migrating. I need to get all these migrated to Google password. That'll work for me.
yeah, that's one of the big problems that I've actually got. I go into work and use the work machine.
Yeah.
And I think, I've got an account to get into there, and go to sign in, and I think to myself, now which one of the passwords did I actually use to get into this thing? Because the browsers will remember your passwords.
Yeah.
Well, it makes it very, very hard when you're using a work computer to, you've already got an account, or because I actually supply data to a few places for aircraft and a few other bits and pieces. I get a whole heap of perks if I log in, but I don't get those perks at the office because I can't log in from the office because I don't remember what the password was. But well, that's one of those things.
I got a new healthcare plan going in today. I'm trying to figure out what this is. See, that balance don't look right. I got to find out why I only got $65 when they say I'm supposed to have $120. So,
Uh-oh, fire bell.
yeah, that's Lance. I think I'm gonna go ahead and close this and pack it in though.
You're gonna
All
pack it
bailed
in?
on us. Yeah,
You're gonna pack it in, eh?
I'm gonna pack it in, but it don't count because Paul didn't say it.
Okay.
So,
Have a good one, guys.
I'll see y'all later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, you guys.